It's 0500 hours, the deck is wet, the crane is moving, and the pressure to load and get underway is already building. Taking on dangerous goods requires strict adherence to legal, safety, and environmental protocols. But the actual work of keeping this vessel safe begins long before a package ever physically crosses the ship's rail. Because of the extreme chemical and physical hazards involved, any break in the preparation process turns a routine package into a potential emergency waiting to happen on deck. To understand the rules protecting the crew, we have to start at the top, with the International Maritime Organization. This flowchart illustrates the two major treaties governing operations. SOLAS Chapter 7 sets the mandatory safety framework. MARPOL Annex 3 establishes rules preventing pollution from packaged substances. These treaties merge into a single, actionable regulation, the IMDG Code. This physical rulebook, the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, is what you use to translate those high-level treaties into exact procedures for classifying, packing, labeling, and stowing hazardous materials. And while you may hold a personal training certificate in dangerous goods awareness, the vessel itself must hold an official document of compliance, proving it is legally equipped and permitted to carry specific hazard classes. All of that international maritime law relies entirely on vigilant, trained personnel enforcing those regulations on the vessel. That enforcement requires a flawless chain of human custody to move a hazardous package from the shore to the ship. The process starts legally with the shipper. Their duty is to properly classify the chemical hazard and generate the correct transport documentation, including the UN number and proper shipping name. Next, the base operator takes over, physically verifying that the package matches its paperwork before authorizing it to move onto the dock. Then, the chief officer cross-references that arriving cargo against the vessel's specific capabilities, making sure it aligns perfectly with the onboard stowage and segregation plan. If any person in this sequence assumes the last person did their job perfectly and skips their own verification, the entire safety system collapses. Let's test that system. You're executing a rapid offshore backload in a tight weather window, and commercial pressure is pushing everyone to move fast. A basket arrives on deck. The manifest vaguely lists the contents as stores, with 0 specific hazard declarations attached. Inside that basket, hidden from view, undeclared paints, pressurized aerosols, and cracked lithium batteries are jumbled together at the bottom. Accepting this basket introduces an untrackable fire and toxic hazard directly onto the deck. You cannot effectively fight a chemical fire if you do not know the chemical is there, so you immediately throw the stop signal, holding the crane lift suspended in midair over the deck. You identify the specific dangerous goods inside, and you require a precise safety data sheet from the offshore installation manager before that basket touches the deck. Standard operating procedures exist for exactly this moment, to catch undeclared hazards and block commercial pressure before a physical disaster happens. When you push back against a bad load, you are backed by the ultimate decision-maker on the vessel, the master. The master possesses the overriding legal authority to refuse any cargo they deem unsafe or non-compliant. To exercise this authority, the master relies on the company's safety management system. The SMS provides the documented procedures that serve as an operational shield against any pushback from charterers or base operators. All the international treaties and codes in the world mean nothing unless the master is willing to enforce their SMS over the demands of the schedule. To support that decision, every crew member needs a practical, non-negotiable mental checklist to run through before accepting dangerous cargo. First, the core identity checks. Do you know exactly what the physical cargo is, and has it been officially declared with the proper shipping documentation? Next, the physical package and vessel checks. Is the cargo properly packed and labeled, and does your vessel's document of compliance actually permit this specific hazard class? Finally, the onboard planning checks. Can you safely segregate this from incompatible cargo on deck? And do you completely understand the emergency response plan if it leaks? Safe transit demands that maritime law, the safety management system, and your physical checks on deck align flawlessly every single time. Now, it's time to test your understanding. Proceed to the interactive task to apply this framework to a real-world scenario.